They say hope is the last thing to die. But what if that hope flickers like a candle in the wind? What if the shadows grow longer and the flame grows dim? What if the darkness is about to consume even the last remaining embers? Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Today we ask a truly disturbing question, one that sends shivers down the spines of even the bravest heroes. What if the Avengers were the very monsters they had sworn to fight? More specifically, what if the mad titan Thanos himself rose from the dead and came for vengeance? And not just Thanos, but an entire horde of the undead, each driven by an insatiable hunger, including some of our beloved heroes. How would humanity fare in such a grim scenario? Let's find out. Before we dive into the horrors of this undead uprising, let's take a moment to appreciate the creative brilliance behind this spine-chilling concept. The idea of a zombie apocalypse set in the vast expanse of the Marvel Universe is a stroke of genius. It allows us to explore a side of these iconic characters we've never seen before, showcasing their strength, courage, and perhaps most importantly, their humanity. The notion of a zombified Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Imagine the Mad Titan's ruthless efficiency and single-minded determination combined with an insatiable hunger for flesh. It's a terrifying prospect. Yet, it's precisely this terrifying prospect that makes exploring the concept so captivating. By pitting humanity against this undead menace, we're confronted with a horrifying question. What would it mean for the fate of the cosmos if the balance of power tipped so drastically? Could there be any hope for survival, or would the very essence of the Marvel Universe be consumed by this dark transformation? The idea of a zombie plague ravaging the Marvel Universe and corrupting some of its most powerful heroes into ravenous monsters is a truly intriguing concept. It turns the familiar into the frightening, forcing us to confront our heroes in a new light. To fully grasp the depths of this horrifying situation, let's break down the key aspects that make this scenario so terrifying. First, the scope of the zombie plague itself. When we think of a zombie apocalypse, we typically imagine isolated incidents, pockets of infection slowly turning their victims into flesh-hungry monsters. Now imagine this happening on a cosmic scale within the vast expanse of the Marvel Universe. Entire galaxies could potentially be consumed by this undead plague, raising the stakes to unimaginable levels. Second, the corruption of beloved heroes. The idea of our cherished heroes succumbing to the zombie plague and becoming the very monsters they once fought against is deeply unsettling. It challenges the very foundations of good and evil, forcing us to confront the darkness that can lurk within even the purest of hearts. Imagine iconic heroes like Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man transformed into ravenous beings driven by an insatiable hunger. The betrayal of their former ideals is both shocking and tragic. Finally, the emergence of a zombified Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. The mere thought of Thanos, one of the most powerful and ruthless villains in the Marvel Universe, becoming a zombified monster is enough to send chills down our spines. When we combine this terrifying image with his possession of the Infinity Gauntlet, the stakes become infinitely higher. Thanos' relentless pursuit of balance and his willingness to sacrifice trillions to achieve it, coupled with his newfound insatiable hunger, paints a grim picture of what's to come. The thought of facing such a powerful and merciless entity driven by an undead plague is truly horrifying. To understand how humanity might fare against a zombified Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, let's delve into the potential implications of such a scenario. We'll explore the challenges, the sacrifices, and the glimmer of hope that might arise in such a bleak situation. One of the most immediate concerns in this scenario is the sheer power disparity between humanity and a zombified Thanos. Thanos, even in his undead form, possesses immense physical strength, durability, and a strategic mind capable of formulating intricate plans. When we add the power of the Infinity Gauntlet to the mix, the equation becomes even more lopsided. The Gauntlet's ability to manipulate reality, time and space gives Thanos an edge that seems almost insurmountable. In such a situation, humanity's best chance would lie in exploiting any weaknesses that might arise from Thanos' zombified state. Perhaps the ravenous hunger could be used against him, distracting or overwhelming him momentarily. However, such a strategy would require perfect timing and a level of coordination that might be challenging to achieve, given the chaotic nature of a zombie outbreak. Additionally, the presence of other zombified heroes adds another layer of complexity to the equation. Some of these heroes might possess unique abilities that could prove problematic for humanity. For example, a zombified Hulk could pose an even greater physical threat, while a zombified Doctor Doom could utilize his magical prowess to devastating effect. To survive such an onslaught, humanity would need to band together, uniting all available forces to form an unprecedented alliance. Scientists, strategists, and even everyday citizens would need to contribute their unique skills to devise a plan that could exploit the weaknesses of the undead horde. Open fields and large gathering places might be prime targets for ambush by the undead, forcing survivors to seek refuge in more isolated, hard-to-reach locations. Small, well-fortified communities could become the new norm, reminiscent of early human settlements. The struggle for survival would test the limits of human endurance, forcing individuals to confront their fears and limitations head-on. The breakdown of society as we know it would be inevitable, giving rise to a new world order defined by the constant threat of the undead. The psychological toll on humanity would be immense. Witnessing the downfall of civilization, the loss of loved ones, and the struggle for basic necessities would push people to their breaking points. The battle against the undead wouldn't just be a physical one. It would also become a war of attrition, a test of mental fortitude and resilience. In the darkest hours, hope could become a flickering candle in the wind. It would require every ounce of strength and ingenuity for humanity to endure. The idea of a zombie plague spreading across the Marvel Universe is a fascinating exploration of what happens when some of the most powerful heroes fall to a terrifying fate. The emergence of a zombified Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet takes this concept to a whole new level of horror. Humanity's chances of survival in such a scenario are slim to none. But the journey of their last stand would undoubtedly be filled with intense battles, surprising alliances, and heartbreaking sacrifices. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the dark side of the Marvel Universe. If you enjoyed this exploration into the realm of the undead, don't forget to show your support. Your likes and comments fuel our passion for bringing these spine-chilling scenarios to life. Together, we can continue to unravel the darkest corners of the multiverse and uncover the terrifying possibilities that await us. So stay tuned, dear viewers, because the nightmares are far from over. Until next time, may your nights be filled with sweet dreams and your days with thrilling adventures. Remember, in the darkest of times, even a small flicker of hope can light the way to survival.